Staying in the United States, a jury selection has begun in a criminal trial to determine whether Steve Bannon, the influential former advisor to Donald Trump, broke the law by refusing to comply with a subpoena for documents and testimony by the panel investigating the January the 6th attack on the Capitol. In October, the Congressional Committee investigating the deadly riots subpoenaed Mr. Bannon to sit for a deposition and to provide a wide range of documents related to the events of that day. Mr. Bannon refused to comply. The committee cited him for contempt and referred him to the U.S. Justice Department for prosecution. Well, for all this, let's cross live and join Arise U.S. correspondent Eric Ham for the very latest. He's in Washington. Great to see you, Eric. So jury selection, I understand, taking place in the trial of Steve Bannon, the former close aide to Donald Trump. Tell us more about the focus of the trial.
Yeah, that's right, Charles. In fact, this trial begins today. Jury selection is currently underway. And Steve Bannon, a former advisor to the former President Donald Trump, is facing two charges of congressional contempt for refusing to comply with subpoenas that were provided by the January 6th Select Committee. Now, we know last week there was a flurry of activity taking place. In fact, there was a letter that was sent from the former president relieving the former advisor of any presidential recriminations that might have kept him from testifying. And now we also learned that Steve Bannon agreed to provide testimony to the committee. This was all in an effort to try to stave off this trial. But clearly, the Department of Justice was not having any of it. They said that they are going forward with this case. And now it looks like this could be a trial that many believe does not expect to last long because they see the case is pretty open and shut. Subpoenas were submitted. Steve Bannon refused to comply. And now he is looking at facing 2 counts of contempt where he could expect to spend between 30 days to 1 year in prison if actually convicted.
And Eric, we've also heard that the investigating committee has been played a clip of Mr. Bannon telling a right-wing talk show the day before the insurrection, quote, "All hell is going to break loose tomorrow," unquote. That's pretty strong, isn't it?
Very strong. In fact, that was one of the reasons why we saw that the committee wanted to actually hear from Steve Bannon during this investigation. And of course, but now clearly with the clip that they have provided, clearly they have the smoking gun they believe that they need. And so it's unclear if, in fact, Steve Bannon will ever sit before the January 6th committee to provide information. In fact, what we do know now is that the committee now, we're told, has information about those deleted records from the U.S. Secret Service on both January 5th and January 6th. And we're expected to learn more about that this coming Thursday for their primetime hearing. But this week, it's all about Trumpism, and it appears as though Trumpism is clearly on trial. And Steve Bannon being one of Donald Trump's most vociferous supporters, we're going to get more information in more detail, particularly about what Steve Bannon knew and also perhaps why he refused to testify. We do know that he was certainly attempting to make this trial a circus, attempting to try to call people such as the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and other Democrats to testify. The judge put the kibosh on all of that. And in fact, we're told that Steve Bannon's own lawyer said to the judge, we really don't have a defense now. And so it will be interesting to see exactly how this all plays out this week.
And obviously you're going to keep us updated with all the developments around it, Eric. But what happens if he's found guilty? Could he be sent to jail?
Absolutely. In fact, the charges that he is facing, they provide anywhere from 30 days minimum to 1 year in prison. So he is looking at 2 counts of criminal contempt. And so he could spend between 60 days to 2 years in jail. But many legal experts that I have talked to about this said that it would likely run concurrent, which means if he is convicted on both counts, it would be between 30 days and 1 year in jail.
Eric, let's turn to that shooting in Indiana. Praise for a bystander for shooting dead a gunman who killed 3 people at a shopping center on Sunday. Just tell us more about that incident.
Yeah, in fact, there was a food court where an individual came into a food court in a mall, opened fire, and we know that the shooting overall left 4 people dead, including the actual shooter himself. We're told that he was armed with an AR-15 assault rifle, and it was a 22-year-old bystander who actually had a gun legally that was purchased that actually shot and killed the assailant. And so, but this was actually one of 2 mass shootings that took place in the state of Indiana yesterday. And recently, the governor signed into law a bill that makes it legal to carry firearms throughout the state without a permit or any type of a permit or training for these weapons. And so many are saying it is because of this new law that we're seeing these types of shootings take place in the state of Indiana. But again, another deadly shooting, 2 deadly shootings, in fact, in the state of Indiana, where already the United States is seeing more mass shootings than actual days in this country already.
Well, absolutely. I understand there are now more than 20,000 gun-related deaths in America so far this year. Absolutely mind-boggling stuff. Eric, thanks very much indeed. Eric Ham, Arise US correspondent, talking to me there from Washington.